I'm here with Anne-Fitten Glenn from Oskar Blues in Brevard, North Carolina. A lot of people don't quite realize that you're one of the three big brewers that have located, and the first.
We are the first, and in relative size, we are not that big compared to either Sierra Nevada or New Belgium. We're a little bigger than Highland. We currently are the largest operating brewery in the Carolinas, but that will not last for long. But yeah, we did it the easy way. In retrospect, we bought a little warehouse in Brevard late last summer and moved in a whole bunch of equipment, and by December 12th, we were brewing.
Guys have come a long way in a short period of time. I was just out there the day you had the media day. The equipment had just arrived. The canning line had just arrived.
Right.
And now, 6 months later, you're pumping out beer, canning, and everything else. You've got a tasting room. Tell us about that.
Well, and that opened on December 12th as well. But we are also now distributing beer from Brevard, North Carolina, all over the East Coast. But the tasting room, the Tasty Weasel as we call it, because the Tasty Weasel is the tasting room in Longmont, Colorado, where the original brewery is open daily, 12 to 8 on the weekends, on Friday and Saturday nights till 10. And we have all 7 of our beers on regularly, plus a special beer every week. This week we had, I believe it is a grapefruit flavored Gubna. Oh, and also we had a Chipotle Tinfitty.
How about that?
Yeah.
Nice.
So some very special beers. We're doing a special firkin every Friday. We have music. We have food trucks. We have a trolley that usually...
You can get in downtown Asheville.
Yes.
And take out there.
It picks up the Aloft Hotel at 5 o'clock on Saturdays and 3 o'clock on Sunday. We are looking into adding a West Asheville stop to pick up people in West Asheville and bring them down to the brewery. We may also do some runs to Hendersonville because lots of folks want to come over from there.
Yeah, not far.
Yeah. And so that's been a lot of fun.
Let's taste a couple of your beers. Now, these two are 2/3 of the Conundrum 12-pack.
This is right.
Which we are giving away as our Free Beer Friday all summer long, which is very cool. And the folks here, our listeners, will be winning some of the first beer off the line, the freshest in Western North Carolina.
Yes, we literally packaged this yesterday. We started about 12:30, and when I left the brewery at 7:30 last night, they were just finishing up the first pallets of Conundrum.
Wow.
And that beer will be picked up, some of it will be picked up today and go out into grocery stores, but literally your listeners will be the first people on the East Coast to get their hands on this beer.
So look for the Conundrum. It'll be at Ingles supermarkets and some of the beer stores in town. It's a great way to sample 3 different Oskar Blues beers.
Right, and I actually didn't bring the Old Chub, which is the third beer, but it contains a mixed 12-pack of our 3 flagship beers, which are the Dale's Pale Ale, our best-selling beer, all brewed in Brevard, North Carolina.
Yep.
And the Mama's Little Yellow Pills, which is our second bestseller, and then the Old Chub Scotch Ale is our third bestseller. So there will be 4 of each of those in the mixed 12.
Well, let's pour some pills. Show people
that's a good morning beer.
It is a good morning, because we're recording this in the morning. So
that's usually my lunch beer as well.
This is a good one for the summer. Pils obviously short for Pilsner. So as you would imagine, a lighter beer, good lawnmower beer. You're done doing some stuff around the yard. And this is a very cool glass you guys have for tastings and things like that.
It is.
You can see the etched logo on there. It might be tough to see, but you might be able to right there. Very cool.
And Brevard is rad. That's why the R and the A and the D are capitalized.
Good call.
We like to do fun stuff like that. We do that with Colorado.
Yeah, you look right in there, and then you can see it's rad. Very tasty beer, very smooth, very well balanced. As you can maybe see, it's a gold medal winner.
Well, and let me look at the bottom and tell you that this was canned on May 8th. On the bottom of all of our cans, we have a canning date. So this beer is super fresh.
Couple of weeks old, that's it. So it's and taste it.
Yeah, and particularly this beer because it's a lager, it's a Pilsner. The hops can degrade pretty quickly, even in the aluminum can, which protects it from light and oxygen. So it's a beer that is really best drunk very fresh.
The listeners ought to know, if they don't already, that everything Oskar Blues does is in a can. And I think we're still in the education process with some folks because cans used to be bad. you thought canned, you thought cheap beer.
Right.
Because when we grew up, and the teenagers and whatnot back in the day, the cheap beer was in the can.
Right.
And then the good beer was in the bottle, the imports, the whatever else. So you were fancy if you were drinking out of a bottle.
Right. Well, this
Not
is no
anymore.
longer your father's or even your
Right.
grandfather's beer. This is very different. Oskar Blues, of course, was the first craft brewery to put their beer in cans, and now there's something like 280 craft breweries across the country canning their beer, and more coming on every day. I mean, people who said they would never can a beer, such as Boston Beer that makes Samuel Adams, are now canning beer. And because it's like the perfect package, it's like a mini keg.
Yeah.
It protects the beer against light, against oxygen, which are the two things that ruin it the quickest.
Great for travel.
It's great for travel.
Festivals.
Our motto is pack it in, pack it out. And that's on all our cans.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to Bonnaroo, you can't take glass. A lot of these festivals, if you're going to over the
National
summer,
Forest.
you can't. Yeah. Going
Out
hiking.
in most parks,
Yep.
you can't take glass, but you certainly can take these.
And the technology has come a long way too. It used
It
to be
has.
you could taste kind of a
Well, they're all
tinness.
lined now.
Yeah,
all
much
the cans
better.
are lined, so that the beer never comes in contact with the metal.
For somebody that drinks a whole lot of beer, both bottles and can, I can tell you that I actually prefer beer out of the can now. I can almost taste a difference if there's an option. You can almost taste it. It's almost just like it's off the tap.
Well,
It's-
I'm actually have been talking to a couple of people about doing some blind taste tests. The Bar of Soap over in Merriman, they have all canned craft beer. And people come in and they're a little bit like, well, no bottles, no draft. And they're like, well, taste them. And I would love to do some kind of side-by-side blind tasting with cans and bottles of the same beer. We should do it on the air, maybe.
In some cases, of course, like in yours, it'd be tough to do a comparison, but of course you could do a draft versus a can.
Right.
Because you don't do anything in bottles.
Right. Well, and in our case, that would be so. But
Yeah.
in some beers, for example, Sierra Nevada, they do their pale ale in both cans and bottles.
Right, correct.
So that might be fun.
So we got Beer Week. And
Yes, Beer Week. Yay!
let's talk about that. It's exciting. It's a whole week about craft beer. We all love it. The Beer City Festival, one of my favorites.
Mine too.
Because it's a great way to taste a lot of the local and statewide beers in North Carolina.
And we do have some national brewers.
There are a
coming
few
as
now.
well.
Mhm.
But it's very much a southeastern festival. It's very focused on the Asheville Brewers Alliance members. And all of us will be there and really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're bringing some of our IPAs, such as the Deviant Dales and the Goodnight, which is an Imperial Red. And we're probably also going to bring, actually, one of those old Chub Firkins I was telling you about.
Nice.
Probably just an oak aged, which will be really fun.
While you're talking about that, you've still got some in
See,
your...
yeah, you're drinking too fast.
No. So I brought the extra glass. I haven't had my breakfast,
Oh,
so, this is my
Awesome.
breakfast.
beer for breakfast.
Beer is good for you.
Absolutely. Lots of
It really is,
vitamin B.
actually.
Yeah.
It actually is a lot of...
Phytoestrogens, all kinds of good stuff.
And now that's
In
not-
moderation.
Well, of course, goes without saying. Clandestine drive, drink responsibly. That's not the only thing you're doing during Beer Week, and a lot of the other brewers as well. Multiple things.
Right. And Mountain Express just put out their Asheville Beer Guide yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great resource. There's a lot of information. We're doing some really fun things. There will be a collaboration beer, which we believe is the largest collaboration beer ever done in America. We're talking to the Brewers Association to verify that, but they're going to write something up about that this week. But we had 20 breweries collaborate on this beer, which is a Hoppy Saison, and it will be released at Green Man during Asheville Beer Week. And there will only be 999 bottles of it.
On the wall?
produced.
You had me at Hoppy Saison, actually.
I know.
I
Isn't
love
that interesting?
Hoppy and I love Saison, so that sounds awesome.
Right. So that I'm really excited about. And we're just doing a bunch of events. We're doing a kickoff event for Asheville Beer Week at the Thirsty Month this Saturday night
Yep.
with a tap takeover. We're doing a couple other fun collaboration things at the Walk in West Asheville on next Wednesday. We're doing a tap takeover with New Belgium, so it'll be the two Colorado breweries that are moving here. They're going to have 6 taps. We'll have 6 taps. We'll have some special beers on, including our Golden Belgian, which I would love like to see canned one day. The Vesuvius, but it's an awesome beer, and it's a little lower alcohol than some of our other beers, so it's a nice summer drinking beer. And we're also doing a special beer dinner at Wicked Weed, which is going to be fun with all of the newer breweries and the granddaddy of Asheville beer, Highland Brewing.
You know, wine snobs have been the only ones to be able to enjoy these pairing dinners for the longest time, but more breweries are doing it, and since I've been going, I've gone to both. I find there's actually more opportunities to pair with the various tastes of beer than there are with wine.
Beer's so much more complex than wine.
And so much more flexible, too.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to the flavors. I mean, wine is okay, there's grapes.
Right.
That's pretty much it. And you can vary it a little bit based on aging and whatever like that, but it's a grape.
Right.
With beer, there's more ingredients, there's more ways you can go, and when you pair them with food, there's some ridiculous combinations.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What will you be doing at the beer food pairing?
Well, we are taking the dessert, and that is because our Old Chub, I think, is a wonderful dessert beer. So we are going to do a firkin of Old Chub with toasted coconut and vanilla bean on oak, and pair that with the dessert that the Wicked Weed guys are making. And I'm assuming it's going to be something with a little chocolate, maybe some vanilla.
Yeah.
I would probably throw some nuts in, but we'll see.
Okay.
It'll be a lot of fun to see
You don't
what happens.
normally think dessert and beer, but let me attest to somebody that has been to one of these. It can get ridiculously good.
I am a big proponent of dessert beers. Our 1050, which is our Imperial Stout, I think is the ideal dessert beer. I mean, have that with chocolate. It's so good. That's all you need.
Now, if you can compare,
this is the Dales.
And you can kind of see, if you're looking at this, the color difference. Obviously, a light Pilsner versus a pale ale. Dale's Pale Ale is probably what you sell more of than I would guess any other beer.
That is our primary flagship beer. It's our best seller.
Cheers.
And yes, it is. It's kind of an amber color. It's a little dark for a pale ale, and it's also fairly hoppy for a pale ale. But it's
very
not
good,
quite enough.
is what it is. I love it. It's a voluminously hopped mother of a pale ale. It says it right there. Huge, voluminously hopped mother of a pale ale. And it really is. It's hoppier than most pales. It almost leans toward an IPA as far as the hoppiness level. But very well balanced, very good. You can drink it all season long.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those
smooth.
winter, summer, spring, fall, whatever.
People freak out about this beer.
Yeah.
They
And
just love it.
named after the founder of your brewery, the Dale's Pale, and the Deviant Dale, of course.
Right.
Is he more of a Deviant Dale, or is he more of a...
He's pretty deviant.
Okay, all right. Well.
He is a fun guy and a great guy to work for. He's all about having fun. Last week at the brewery, he sent us sumo wrestling costumes.
The big blow-up deals.
The big blow-up deals, just because.
Did you get in one? Did you?
He was concerned that we were.
Yeah, our boss is worried about that here too.
Yeah.
Not enough fun.
I know. He's worried that we're doing our work, and we all work really, really hard, particularly in that new brewery, because it's a very small staff actually to be doing what we're doing, and we're on track to brew 50,000 barrels this year.
It's a lot of beer.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's kind of awesome.
And he's in town for Beer Week.
He's in town for part of Beer Week.
The beginning part.
Yes. And he will be around, although he's probably going to Charlotte to the sprint race this weekend, the Coca-Cola 600, because we are currently the first craft beer to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
These two, as a matter of fact.
These two beers, starting this week, Speed Week. We are going to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway, so it's very exciting.
I'm thinking Earnhardt fans might just grab them a Dale's Pale Ale, just because of the name.
There's a new Dale.
They're going to see it, a new Dale.
Well, and also there was another Dale who was actually Dale Garrett was Jarrett.
Dale Jarrett.
Okay.
And just
see, this is good that you know. But he got into the Hall of Fame. The
last
NASCAR
night.
Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Last night.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
we're like all these Dales. They should all be at the Speedway.
Very popular name, and of course Dale Earnhardt Sr., his son, most popular driver in NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt Jr. People just usually say Jr., first name Dale. However, so I'm thinking a lot of his minions will also be drinking the Dale's Pale Ale at the track, or the Mama's Little Yellow Pills, 2 of the 3, which are available in the Conundrum 12-pack. Look for that and listen to win all season long on Rock 104.9 all summer. And also, if you want a good resource for the Beer City Festival and everything else, all the events going on, we mentioned some of them, rock104rocks.com, a complete list of everything. So
awesome.
Beginning to end, everything right there, just like it is on the official website.
Great.
So all that stuff. There's a lot of things going on for Beer Week. 3 or 4
Yes,
events
it's
a
a little,
night.
it's a little overwhelming.
So pick
I'm
a
on
few.
the committee, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to attend everything and
You
maintain my liver
Sobriety,
function.
I was going to say.
No, I will probably be getting a lot of taxis, which we hope everyone else will.
Drink responsibly.
For sure.
And enjoy Beer Week. And we thank Oskar Blues and Anne-Fitten Glenn for coming by. They are our featured beer all day Monday. We'll be talking about them, all their products, and of course you can win the Conundrum 12-pack all year long, our Free Beer Fridays on Rock 104.9. Anne-Fitten, thanks for coming by.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Awesome.
Cheers.